What did you think of Bill Watts, meeting him, because he's very controversial?
Yeah. If you ever heard any interviews from me, you hear me mention Bill Watts 1,000 times in the interviews. Looking back at the time, as a kid, a young, scared kid in the dressing room, he's a very intimidating guy. I was about 6'1", 205 at the time, maybe. Bill's 6'3", 6'4", 320, big guy. His pinkies are like my thumbs, and very intimidating, imposing. A loud, boisterous, larger-than-life character. And but there wasn't a lot of interaction with Bill initially. You rarely saw him around, certainly not at the house shows. But at the TV tapings, the first TV taping we had, I'd wrestled the first match with Eddie Gilbert, and of course I didn't call a thing. It was Eddie calling everything. And I came back to the curtain, and I remember just having this feeling of floating, like I'm finally working for a company, and I'm going to be a big star. This is great. And I came through, I'm taking my tape off, and I looked straight ahead, and Bill, the dressing room door was to the right. Bill's standing there with his hands on his hips, like sort of cocked to one side. And he had that strange look on his face, and I didn't say anything. As I walked toward him to go past him in the dressing room, I gave him like a heads up, like, what's up? I didn't say anything. And I went to walk by him. As I took a step into the dressing room, he goes, what the fuck was that? And I stopped dead in my tracks, and in my head I'm thinking, like, is he serious? And what's he? Not that I knew what a good or bad match was, but it felt like it was a good match. Eddie called it. I didn't say a thing. And I quickly settled on, he's ribbing me. It's my first night. He's jacking me a little bit, So I was going to look at him and say, nice rib. And I never spoke a word or a syllable. I looked at him like I was a smile out, and he came at me like a bear and slammed me to the wall, his face right here, poking me in the sternum hard. And I remember, but he wasn't saying, you piece of shit, you suck, you get the fuck out. It wasn't that, but it was, don't ever turn your fucking back to the camera. If the goddamn camera doesn't see it, it means the people at home don't see you, which means you don't draw me fucking money. He was yelling specific instructions to me, and I had coaches, not that assertive, but in that vein. I never liked it, but I knew, what he was trying to do, teach me. Very intimidating, but I learned from him, and I didn't know that till years later. Years later, I'd catch myself telling stories, and I'd say, well, like Bill Watts taught me, if you don't face the camera, and I'd hear myself invoking Bill Watts' name over and over and over again. And I thought, well, I must have picked something up from him. It was my break into the business. And, I just saw Bill, ironically, a few years ago. I hadn't seen him since WCW days. And, Bill was always a very tense person, just always looked like a very angry person. And I saw him, and he looked great physically. He had slimmed down, but here he looked at peace, at ease. And I wanted to say, Bill, you look fantastic. And how are you? It's great to see you. That was not Bill from back then. Bill didn't give a shit. Get the fuck out of here. So it was really nice for me to see Bill and see that he's doing so well and found peace in his life.